Hi friends, my name is Omkar Jagdai and I'm coming at you from Detroit, Michigan. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to transfer university in USA. But before we get started, I would really appreciate if you can give me a thumbs up to the video. It allows me to reach out to more people just like you. So let's get started. So number one thing, so let's say you want to transfer your university. In my opinion, there are four things you need to consider. First of all, you have to ask yourself a question: why do I need to transfer this university? So a quick example, when I was studying my undergrad, I came to US, I went to University of New Haven and I studied there for a semester. In my first semester, I found out that I really didn't like the area I was living in. There were not a lot of people there. It was a college town. I came from a bigger city back in India, Pune, and there were a lot of people there and it was just like a lively city. But where I was studying, it was not. So I figured out that I need to move out of here. I wanted to go to New York City and study there and maybe get a different exposure to people and the city life. So that was one of my reasons why I wanted to move to a bigger city. So I don't know what your reason is. Usually most people have, either they don't like the school, they don't like the teachers, maybe the area is not for them, or they feel like they are not fitting in the culture at that university or the town. So there may be many reasons for you to move your university. So here's the thing: what do you need to do in order to transfer to a new school? Number one thing, you need to have an admission from another university. For example, let's say I go to Lawrence Tech and I want to transfer to University of Texas from Dallas. Now, in order for me to go there, I need to have an admission letter. Now, if you don't have an admission letter, the first step is actually applying to the school. So you'll need all the documents you had, basically all the documents you had collected to apply to Lawrence Tech. You'll need all those documents, and you'll also need the transcripts from Lawrence Tech that you have completed first semester and what your grades are. Now, let's say from my personal opinion, what I would say is, make sure if you're transferring after one semester, make sure you have really good GPA in your first semester. As a matter of fact, try to get a 4.0 GPA. If you get 2 A's, it will be easier for you to get an admission in US because you've already proven yourself, and also you may be able to claim some scholarships at your new schools. So that is number one key, like get good scores in your first semester in US. Now, so once, let's say you have this admission letter, what you need to do is you need to go to your school and you need to fill up something called a SEVIS transfer form. So when I did that, I was at Lawrence Tech University. So let's say what you need to do is you need to go to school, you need to fill up this form, and basically you need to tell the school the new there's a number for University of Dallas, Texas, for example. There's a number which they give you. You give that to the Lawrence Tech and they will transfer that SEVIS to your new school, and that's all it takes. It's very simple process. You don't have to worry much. Within 24 hours the SEVIS is transferred. Now, I know a lot of people have questions like, hey, I came to US with a visa for Lawrence Tech University and now I'm studying at University of Texas, Dallas. What happens when I'm going back and coming back? Actually, it doesn't matter, folks. It shouldn't be a problem. I have done my transfer before and I have gone back to my country, which is India, and came back. I didn't have any issues. Usually it doesn't have any issues, so don't worry about that. So another thing, let's talk about credits. Now, whenever you're transferring university, number one thing you want to consider is the new university which you are going to, will they transfer your current classes you have taken? For example, let's say you have completed 1 year of school at Lawrence Tech and you want to transfer. Now, if University of Texas Dallas is not willing to transfer your credits, then you may have an issue, because let's say they only transfer half of the credits. It's like 6 credits out of 12. Now, first of all, you'll have to make a choice. Do you still want to go? Second, you'll have to I understand that it is going to cost you more money because you'll have to complete these 6 credits again. That's going to cost you maybe $6,000 more, and it's also going to cost you time. You're going to have to do one more semester extra so that you can catch up. So in this case, it's costing you time and money, and I wouldn't personally do it. I know, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't do it. But here's the thing: sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and do it, because maybe you're depressed at your current university, you don't feel good, maybe there are professors who are giving you really hard time, you don't like the school. you don't know what the reason is. So if you have to do that, then go ahead and do that. Now, let's talk about, is it worth doing the transfer? From my experience, folks, here's the thing. If you're transferring to a new school and they are transferring all your credits and you don't have to do extra work, then I feel it's a good opportunity. Go ahead and do it. But if your credits are not being transferred, if you're not getting those benefits and you have to spend extra time to complete these classes, from my opinion, it's not worth it, folks. I would say go ahead and finish your school where you are, and once you graduate, you can get a job somewhere you really want to move. Because usually, like, let's say for example, you graduate 6 months late now and you had a job of $70,000. In that 6 months you had graduated early, you would have made $35,000. You would have actually made all the money you paid for your master's. So you have to think wisely sometimes, about your decisions and how they're going to affect you. Now, in the moment, in that time, you may feel really depressed and worried, and that's why you may be trying to take this decision. But then you have to think how it's going to affect your long term. So I would say bite the bullet and finish your school and then move on. Okay. But I think that's pretty much what I had, folks. Another thing, I noticed that about 85% of people who are watching our videos are not really subscribing. Now, I'm not sure what's stopping you folks from doing that, but here's the deal. My goal is to have about 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So once we hit that, my goal is to bring on more credible people onto our channel, people who are professionals, who are entrepreneurs, who are business owners in US, who have come here as immigrants, and I want to bring them and talk to you folks. So saying that, I think that's pretty much what I had for you today. If you have any questions, put it in the comment section. If you have any personal questions for me, you can connect to me on my Instagram handle at Omkar A. Chagdare, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.